Hello and welcome to Reviews of Ryan. Today I'm going to be talking about my top 20 films of 2021. Thank you guys for clicking on this thumbnail. If you like movie reviews and Blu-ray hauls, you're in the right spot. Hit that subscribe button, give the video a like, and comment what are some of the best films that you have seen this year. Now without further ado, let's jump into my top 20 films of 2021. Up at number 20, we have Red Rocket. I just recently reviewed this movie. This is directed by Sean Baker. He does a really good job at creating these characters and getting you sucked in, even though these characters are kind of crappy individuals. And then the fact that they have NSYNC, Bye Bye Bye, and some really interesting scenes in this. And the film has lots of comedy and just overall a pretty good watch for an A24 film, only on $1 million budget. At number 19, we have Cruella. I really like the story of this one. Emma Stone does a really great job in this, and I just love kind of the darker imagery that Disney put in this film. I'm really excited when they do a second film. They did a really good job with this one. I thought the visuals looked really great. I thought the villains, all the villains that were in this, and Jasper and Horace in this, they do a really good job. And also the fact that they really have some really good costume and set pieces, and I just really enjoyed this film, and it would have been a little bit higher on my list, but I have some other films that I liked a little bit better. Up at number 18, we have Raya and the Last Dragon. Now, I'm not going to say I was the most interested in this film when I saw the trailer, but the animation in this is very good. Awkwafina is very funny in this. I loved her as the dragon in this, and I thought overall this one had a really good story and really kept my attention the whole time, and just a very good animation film by Disney. And I like the fact also that this didn't have a ton of music. Sometimes Disney has way too much music and it's just very much overkill, but this film did not have that, and that is something that I really appreciated about the film. Up at number 17, I have a film that probably some of you may not have heard of. It is called Saint Maud. Now, originally when I did my review on this, I only gave this score about a 3 out of 5, but I've watched this film 4 times now, and I really like the director Rose Glass vision in this one. You really have someone that is a nurse. She ends up being like a home type of nurse where she's taking care of someone, and this person doesn't believe any type of religion, and she becomes really obsessed with religion, or if she's even really hearing God. And there's some really dark images in this. The final scene in this is just really like, wow. It had my jaw drop when she has this final scene. It's just a really big surprise to me. I really enjoyed this film more than what my original review was. And after 4 times watching it, I can tell you this is something you guys should check out. Up at number 16 is also a smaller film that you may not have heard of. This film is called Jacob's Wife. So I saw this at my local theater, and it actually was a not rated film. And actually, I'm not sure if this is something that necessarily happened all over the world of what the small theater count was, but in my theater, we had some people that actually walked out and hated the fact that it was not rated, and there were some scenes they thought was controversial in this. But I can tell you on this one, this is about a woman that ends up being a vampire, and she's married to a minister, and she has kind of a questionable marriage. And the film has lots of comedy in it, and also wrestling fans. CM Punk is a cop in this. So I thought this film had lots of comedy and has some pretty good action and some gore a little bit. I thought it was a pretty good film, and for an unknown film, I thought it was pretty good. Up at number 15, we have Pixar's Luca. I really enjoyed this film. I really liked the animation in this film, and I really liked the story in this film, and just the whole town and the animation. They did a really good job bringing this story to life, and I can't help saying Senior Vespa so much. And I have the pop figures as well, and I just really love this movie. It was a very good film, and it had a very good story, and if you have not checked this out yet, definitely check it out. Number 14 is Belfast. I really like the concept of this one. The director that directed this, you get an insight of his life, and it's in Ireland, and it's in black and white, and the child actor in this is one of the best acting I've ever seen. Really, all the acting is really good in this. Everybody does a really good job, and really does a really good job owning their roles, and they do a really good job of having the scenery and getting into the conflicts and just having a really fun overall movie that I've really enjoyed. Up at number 13, we have Judas and the Black Messiah. I really enjoyed learning the history of this film and just learning what was happening during those times. I think Daniel Kaluuya, he does a really good job in this. I think the acting overall is very strong in this. The story is very strong in this. And this was a film that really just got me into the history that I just really enjoyed. And I definitely would like to learn more about it in the future. And I bought it on Blu-ray, so I definitely enjoyed this film. At number 12, is Blue Bayou. I really like this film. This was about a Korean American who gets deported. And the film is just really powerful. I really like the message here. And it definitely is a little bit of a tearjerker. I really enjoyed the shots in this. I enjoyed learning about the characters, learning about the struggles that this Korean guy faces throughout the film. Up at number 11, I have The Green Knight. Now, when I first reviewed this film, I only gave it about a 3 out of 5. As I've watched it a couple more times, I really appreciate this film a lot more than I originally did. The shots in this are absolutely beautiful. I love the color schemes that this director did, and I really like at the end what they do to really bring this film to life and really get you to understand what is going on in this film. I really love how it has a little bit of a period piece to it, and it was just overall a pretty solid film that I enjoyed overall. Now we're in the top 10, starting off with number 10, The Electrical Life of Louis Wayne. I recently did a review on this. This film premiered on Amazon Prime, and Benedict Cumberbatch in this film, he does a really good job. I really like the subject matter in this. I mean, how many films are made out there about a cat artist and just learning about his life? And this takes place back in the late 1800s. So it's just something really cool to really learn about history way back when we don't really get a lot of films technically back in the 1800s. And I just thought that this film did a really good job of portraying his life. I really learned a lot about him, especially for somebody that never even heard of him before. And it was a really beautiful film, and I think you guys should definitely check this one out. Up at number 9 is The Eyes of Tammy Faye. So going into this film, it's not necessarily a subject matter that I normally would really care about, but this film really surprised me. I think Jessica Chastain, she did a really good job in her role. She definitely deserves some type of an award. I thought she did phenomenal in this film. Andrew Garfield, he also did very good in this film. And it's very interesting because they kind of make you sympathize for her, but at the same time, they're doing all these wrong things as a Christian type of figure. And I just really enjoyed this film, and I was along for the ride the entire time. And it was just a really good film that I really enjoyed. Up at number 8, we have Joe Bell. I really like Mark Wahlberg's character in this. And this film is more so about second chances. You have a father who doesn't necessarily believe that his kid is gay, and he ends up killing himself. This is the plot point of the story. And he goes on a march to kind of stop bullying and kind of march for his son for getting made fun of that he's gay. And I thought it was a really good film, and definitely a tearjerker as well on this one, but it really captivated my attention the whole time, and I really enjoyed the story that was put together on this one. Up at number 7, we have West Side Story. Now, I'm going to say that I am not the most into musical films. This film just had my attention the entire time. The set pieces in this, the characters, the singing. Rachel Zegler, my gosh, is she a good singer. Someone that young and just belting out those notes. The first note that you hear when her and Enzo Elgort meet on the stairs is absolutely phenomenal, and I talked about that in my review. And I just really enjoyed this film. I enjoyed everything about this film. I enjoyed the singing, I enjoyed the set pieces, I enjoyed the time frame that we were in, and it was just a really good film. Up at number 6, we have Spider-Man No Way Home. Now, of course, a lot of people probably have this up higher in their rankings, but I had some other films that I liked besides this. I am not the most Marvel junkie, but I really enjoyed this Spider-Man. And Tom Holland is the least of my Spider-Mans that I like, but this is the best film that he was in. And just the way that this film was laid out and demonstrated throughout the film, they did a really good job at this story. And I didn't feel like the runtime was too much on this one. It was just right. And it's definitely a rewatchable film, and I can't wait to purchase this one as it was a very good film. And if you have not seen this one yet, you should definitely check it out. Coming in at number 5, we have Ridley Scott's The Last Duel. I really like this film. I like the period piece that we're in. Matt Damon and Adam Driver, they absolutely kill it in this film. I love the fact that we have 3 different stories and they just kind of have different flavors to each of those stories leading up to The Last Duel. The visuals in this film is very good, and I just love the whole film as a whole and how it's shot, and just the scenery and dialogue in this one is really good. Up at number 4, we have Shang-Chi. Now, this film really surprised me. I knew nothing about Shang-Chi. I've never heard of the comics. I never knew anything about this character. And again, Awkwafina does really good in this film. And I really love the main actor, Simu Liu. And he does a really good job in this one. And the story just really captivated me. And the visuals were really good in this. And if they do a second one, which I'm sure they will, I will definitely be there day one watching that one. Up at number 3, we have Last Night in Soho. Wow, I saw the trailer for this one and I knew it was going to be good visually, but the colors and the textures and the costumes and the acting in this one and the story overall is just awesome. This film bombed at the box office and it didn't get a lot of respect from audiences as far as going to see it. But if you get a chance, definitely check this one out. It is on streaming now and it is an excellent film and it has excellent visuals and you definitely will enjoy this film. Up at number 2 is The Night House. Now, this is the only film that I actually watched twice in the theater, and that's mainly because I've watched over 400 movies this year, but I made the time to go to see this film a second time, and my gosh, this film is amazing. I really love the concept and the visuals in this one, and this film didn't rely on jump scares, but it does a really good job of just pulling you in and just has a story that really captivates you the entire time throughout the film. My number 1 film of the year goes to Free Guy. Now, when I saw the trailer for this, I thought this was going to be another dumb film by Ryan Reynolds. I'm always kind of split on his films. I like certain ones and other ones I don't, but this one was absolutely phenomenal. I really love the whole world that we're in. I love how his character is. I love that it's in a video game style type world, almost like a Grand Theft Auto. And it's just a really good film that was really good acting with Ryan Reynolds, and I thought all the characters added some comedy, there's some action, there's a little bit of a story here, and I can't wait for the second film. Gave this film a 5 out of 5, was one of the only 5 out of 5 films that I reviewed this year, and it was an awesome film. Thank you guys for watching my top 20 countdown. I really appreciate you checking this out, and I'm looking forward to seeing more films in 2022 and giving you guys more reviews and Blu-ray hauls. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in 2022.